That's 6 o'clock.
It's 6 o'clock. I'm going to call our meeting to order. We're going to stand and we're going to have the Pledge of Allegiance. Then I'm going to ask Alderman Betts to lead us in a word of prayer. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's pray. Our Father in heaven, we are grateful for a day of life that you have given to each of us. Grateful for your love to us and your protection and providing needs that we have. Thank you, Lord, for the country that we live in. Thank you for the state we live in. Thank you for the town we live in. I pray, Lord, now as we go into the business of our town, I pray, Lord, that you help us make wise decisions that is a benefit to all and bring glory to you. For we pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. All right. I'd like to welcome everybody that's here tonight. Thank y'all for coming, turning up. First thing we're going to do is have a roll call.
Present.
Here. Present.
Here. Here. First thing we got to take care of is our minutes from our last meeting. Is there any questions, additions, or deletions?
Yes. Agenda item number 13, and it's going to be pertaining to the approval of the LMA. And I just want to say this, in the future, if we would please allow the alderman to be at the host hotel, because everything is more convenient for that person. When you're not at the host hotel, you encounter additional fees like parking, incidentals cost much more than it would be at the host hotel. It's just more convenient for when the alderman goes to these meetings that they're there in the vicinity of where everything is going on.
And if we can book those ahead of time with enough time, usually when we approve these it's usually
The month before?
Well, actually the month before, and a lot of times the host hotel's already filled up and they have overflow, which as long as they get the government rate, things of that nature, but any incidentals, I think that'd be just something we have to pay if you incur those incidentals. So I'm sure you would keep a receipt and turn those in if you had anything out of pocket. So, all right, anything else?
And once again, parking. Like I said, parking, by me not being at the host hotel, parking was also included. I had to pay for 2 night stays of parking, just throwing it out there. But if you're at the host hotel, parking is normally included.
I've not known them to charge parking, especially in Baton Rouge.
I actually have the receipts. I can send
Okay,
you those receipts.
That would be great. So just turn those in. Yeah, we'd be glad to reimburse you for those. Okay, do I hear a motion to approve?
Make the motion.
Motion made by Alderman Betts. Here a second. By Alderman Smith. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, next thing we got is the Louisiana Public Record Open Meeting Law requires us to have a public comments on any agenda items. Of course, there's some things on here that we're going to get into later that you can still, we'll probably recognize some people if they want to speak on or have a question. But if right now would be a good time. If you have an agenda item you'd like to speak to, just identify which one you're addressing if you want to make any comments before the meeting starts. Does anybody want to make any comments on any agenda item prior to the beginning of the meeting? Okay.
Craig Sanders, I'd like to speak on agenda number 9.
Number 9?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and that's dealing with the ordinance dealing with carts in the town of Vidalia.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
There's a state statute right now pertaining to golf carts, and the city does not have one. So it falls back on the state. Golf carts are not being enforced right now anyway, which is proven by the public records request that was done with 0 tickets being issued, 0 citations, anything. How are we going to mandate that? What are we going to do who's going to oversee the tickets and all that stuff?
That would be law enforcement.
Okay, well, my thing is if Chief Merrill is the one selling the golf cart and it's going to be an ordinance, then code enforcement should be the one that's enforcing the law or the city ordinance that's being passed. That's just my opinion. Just something to put out there.
Okay.
Secondly, the aldermen that have used golf carts for their personal use before this vote come up, I feel like that may be buying votes. Again, just my opinion. So I would like y'all to abstain from voting on that. Brent, you're an insurance agent just like I am. One of the requirements of these golf carts to have insurance. You could benefit from this. My opinion, that's an ethics violation. Again, that's up to you how you want to vote. That's all I got.
Okay.
You got enough.
You can you come speak into our mic, Ray? Ray, can you come speak in our mic? I'm sorry, we want everybody to hear that's listening and make sure we get it record.
Well, since you have the public hearing on item 9, I'd just like to be recognized when that comes around, so that I can give you some comments there, or I can give them to you now, whichever.
I am going to allow some comments because I'm sure we're going to have discussion on it, and there's going to be different views and.
Well, I've got a number of points to make, so
Okay.
I'll wait until it comes up.
All right.
It'd be addressing 9 and 10.
Okay. All right. Anybody else? Yeah, that'd be fine. We'll just cover it all at one time because, I mean, you're going to have questions that we might not cover when we get into the actual discussion. I think we should.
So everybody that has questions is pertaining to that item number only? I'm saying they're waiting. So my question is, if it's other people that don't have questions pertaining to just 9, you still have the availability to get up and speak on that item.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, we're going to move on. We'll have the presentation of our financial statements for March 2026. Deborah Moak, our CPA municipal accountant.
Tonight's financial statements include the balance sheet as of March 31st, 2026, the statement of revenues, expenditures, and changes in fund balance for the 9 months ending March 31st, 2026. These financial statements have been distributed to all department heads and aldermen for their review. In summary, the town has combined cash in the bank of $2.86 million, including restricted funds of $447,000 in the hydro fund and $1.3 million in the sales tax fund. Investments are it total $29.5 million, include hydro fund of $26.9 million, $1.8 million in the general fund, and $767,000 of ARPA funds. Total assets is $78.8 million. Total liabilities is $14.9 million, for a total fund balance of $63.9 million. The statement of revenues, expenses, and changes in fund balance for the 9 months ending March 31st, 2026 indicates combined revenues of $35.3 million, total expenditures of $39.9 million, for a change in net position of a negative $4.6 million. The total budget to actual comparison should be at 75% for the 9 months just ended. However, total revenues are at 72% of budget, while personnel expense is at 78%, materials and supplies are at 84%, and other services and charges are at 118% of budget. The high percentage of other services and charges is due to $6.5 million spent year to date on hydro projects. The high percentage of capital outlay is due to the $2.1 million spent on the water plant expansion. The large negative variance is due to the $6.5 million spent on the hydro projects not included in the budget. The change in net position is not expected to meet the total budgeted amount since the hydro project expenses are not included in the budget. These projects have been carryovers from previous years. The fund balance from previous years is the source of revenue for these project expenses. The budget to actual comparison does not include the $5.8 million for the payoff of the transmission line debt and construction. The budget to actual comparison indicates that salaries and wages are over budget in the sanitation department, which is due to employees reclassified after the budget was approved. Many of the employees were in the street department. The revenues are lower than expected due to lower hydro royalties received, offset by the slightly increase in sales tax collections. The 2026-27 proposed annual budget will be available to the public tomorrow and is being presented to the aldermen for their review tonight. Changes can still be made to the budget up to the date the budget is approved. A special meeting is tentatively scheduled for Thursday, May the 28th. An amended budget will also need to be prepared since the general fund and special revenue funds will exceed the 5% threshold.
Okay. Deborah, any questions for Deborah? And if you couldn't hear, one of the reasons why we do have a shortfall right now in our budget, we're going to have to amend it, is when we do the budget, we try to estimate what our hydro monies are going to be on our royalties. And usually January and February and March are typically, banner years because the river's up, we have high water, and it really does well. Well, this year we've been experiencing drought, and it was down for really the biggest producing years where you would, months where you would really get a big royalty check, and that did not happen this year. Of course, thankfully, right now, it's still at a good range, stage now. As long as it stays below flood and stays between 36 and 48 feet, I feel like we'll be all right. If it can stay that in a couple, 2 or 3 more months, we'll probably catch back up. But anyway, thank you, Deborah, for that report. Anything else? Anybody, any of them have a question for Ms. Moak? All right, next we have the presentation of our financial audit for the town of Vidalia for fiscal year 2024-25 from Mr. Scott Adams. He's the CPA with Silas Simmons. Scott?
Thank you, Buzz. Good evening, and on behalf of Silas Simmons, we do appreciate the opportunity to serve as the external auditors for the town. I know we've had a good relationship, and certainly appreciate once again the opportunity to serve in this capacity. Just to get into this, I am presenting the June 30th, 2025 audit report. First item to cover is that it was submitted timely. So everything was submitted on time. There's obviously, you're looking at me now and we're in May, but there is some lag time between reviewing by the legislative auditor and their approval before we can release this information. So with that said, it was timely filed, and there were no issues or anything came back from the Louisiana legislative auditor on the submitted report. Obviously, the report's pretty large, so I'm not going to go through every single page of the report. There are some items that are technical in nature, but required communication that I have to go over. I'll try to make that as painless as possible and try to get through this without using up your entire evening here. It looks like you got a pretty robust crowd. So on pages 1 through 3 is the independent auditor's report. Our job is to come in here and issue an opinion on the financial statements of the town for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2025. That relates to the financial statements being presented in accordance with generally accepted accounting principles. The responsibility of this board and the town is to have those financial statements prepared properly and in a manner that we can audit those. I'm happy to report we've issued what's known as an unmodified opinion, which is a clean opinion. It means we do believe the financial statements are presented fairly in all material respects, and again, in accordance with generally accepted accounting principles. The last several years or ever since Deborah's been here, it's been very nice working with her. She keeps a very good, from a accounting principle standpoint, does a really good job of recording the records and financial transactions of the town. There's, I don't know, 20, 25, 30 funds out there. So it's a pretty big task there. But again, just happy makes it a lot easier when I'm here to report that it's an unmodified opinion, and we do believe they're presented fairly. I won't go through the individual financial pages. I'll just hit kind of the highlights. At the end of 6/30/25, total assets stood at $129 million, which was an uptick of $22 million from the prior year. Kind of the biggest, largest change items was investment in infrastructure and capital projects of approximately a $10 million increase from the prior year. And then also some restricted funds and special revenue funds, primarily the hydro funds, had a significant increase as well from the prior year. Total liabilities for the town stood right around $20 million. This was up about $3 million from the prior year. Part of that was just general operating expenditures or payables that just the normal increase of those type expenses, but also some revenue bonds that were issued with some of the projects as well are included in that increase. Year over year, you ended the year with a net position of $112 million, which is an increase of $18.6 million from the prior year, which really shows the financial strength of the town over that time period. Year over year, looking at on the revenue side, your program revenues were at $21.3 million, up $3.6 million from the prior year. This is charges for services, operating grants, things of that nature. Your general revenues were $37 million, up $9 million from the prior year. That includes things like taxes, the hydro royalty funds, and then other operating capital grants. Particularly, there was a $4 million related to the water plant capacity expansion project that was included in that increase. Operating expenses for the year, $39.8 million, which was, again, it's up about $1.9 million from the prior year, which results in a net change of positive change of $18.6 million for the year 2025. Going through the rest of this report, again, I'm going to try to keep it simple, so I'm not going to read through everything, but pages 21 through 52 are the notes to the financial statements. I certainly encourage everybody to read through those as you have time. They just provide additional detail and analysis of some of the financial numbers. Pages 53 through 60 is required supplementary information, part 2. These are required schedules by government auditing standards. We do include those in the report. However, we don't issue an opinion directly on those. However, we do compare those with the audited financials. And if we see anything that shows any variances or differences, we would be required to report those. I have nothing to report on that. Pages 68 or 61 through 67 is the other supplementary information. These are schedules required by the Louisiana Legislative Auditor. Similar to the required supplemental information, we don't issue a direct opinion on these items, but we do compare them with other financial information. And if we find anything contradictory, we're required to report that. Happy to report that we had no conflicting or contradictory information there. Pages 68 through 69 is our internal control and compliance report. As part of our procedures, we're required to gain an understanding of the internal controls as it relates to the financial reporting process. And if we find anything that presents any potential significant deficiencies or material weaknesses in the financial reporting process, we are required to communicate those or any state compliance violations as it relates to the financial reporting practices. We would be required to report those, and I'm happy to report that we did not come across anything when applying our procedures there. Pages 70 through 73 are the schedules of findings, current year findings, prior year findings. Of course, as you might have picked up on, it was a clean audit this year, so we don't have any findings to report. Again, as it relates to the financial reporting process. So with that said, I'll entertain any questions or discussion items that the board might have. Again, I'd just like to say what a good staff y'all have here. Starts with Deborah, but we work with several members throughout the entire office here. When we need something, they get it for us. It's nice working for y'all over here. So we certainly appreciate the staff, their help.
And I appreciate the work y'all do. They send in several staff members, and they're here for several weeks.
I mean, several straight weeks, and then usually it's a 2-3 months of back and forth. So I mean, it's
pretty comprehensive,
pretty extensive.
Yeah. And we appreciate the work y'all have done. And does the board have any questions of Scott? Okay, Scott, I don't think we have to ratify this. I mean, it is the report. I mean, so, Scott, thank you for that, and thank you for the work y'all do. And if we ever see have a problem, I'm sure you'll let us know. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I'm generally just here to present this once a year, but we're in constant communication throughout the year.
Yeah, I do want people to realize that in the public. We just don't do this. Y'all come in blind. I mean, because I know Deborah, I mean, if we have any kind of questions, we call you guys, and, they say two heads are better than one, and that's true. Of course, they don't get in any kind of managerial stuff, but as far as information, if we have questions about things, they're certainly forthcoming and helping us and making sure we stay on the right track. So, Scott, thank you very much.
All right.
Appreciate
Appreciate it. Y'all have a good evening.
Okay, the next thing I have is board discussion and vote to approve the summer youth program for Greater Mount Carmel Missionary Baptist Church. Mr. Raymond Riley, Senior.
Good evening,
Good evening.
Mayor and Alderman Probst, Gardner, Smith, Betsy McCoy. I've come to you all for a while, since you've been mayor each year. I've been doing this program for 33 years. It was designed to keep teenagers and young adults off the streets during the summer months, plus also provide activities that we come up with, in our community for our kids that are down there. I'm understanding that, talking with Jada, there were some questions. So I don't want to just rabble on about anything when I may have to say it again. If you all just would just ask me the questions that you need to ask about the program. I was here last year, year before last, you approved it. I don't know what has changed since then. If there's some things that have changed, I'm here to answer those questions if I possibly can today. If not, I will make sure I get them back to you.
Any questions, Pastor Riley?
I got a question. Board asked for 2 years about to submit how the money was being spent. Have you done that?
Board didn't ask me to do that.
They did ask you that, Pastor, a couple years ago. They did ask for accounting. Any monies that we give, that's public money, and we ask whether, anybody that we give money to, like beautification, if they bring invoices of who, or copies of checks of who got the money, because it is public money, and we have to track that and take record of it. And yes, it was asked. I mean, it really was. I mean, we can go back and look at the meeting, but, and I think the program's good, but we just got to make sure that we can account for the monies, who received it, who received the checks, who were the employees you hired. I think that's fair, with it being public money, how the money was spent, whether it was for, materials for, have activities to play with, whether it was for food, and which individuals got the money. I think that's important. And I think that would, if you have that from the previous year, I'm sure they would probably approve it, but at least be forthcoming with how the money's being spent. And that's not something that's asked. If we didn't ask for it before, we should have.
You didn't ask for it. You may have thought you did, but you didn't, because if you would, I would have kept accurate records of it. Now I say this.
Am I wrong? Did we not ask for it?
I don't remember anybody asking me for it.
I think last year, I don't think he came.
I didn't come, because I wasn't here.
He wasn't here, but we did ask for it.
Y'all
Okay,
mentioned
I mean,
it,
We
but
did,
he wasn't-
because that was a controversy.
But who
we
did
had.
you ask?
We
Because I
asked for
wasn't
the
here, I was
records
out of
just to
town.
show where the money was going. And that was a situation that
So
came
whether
up.
they got back with you, I have no idea.
And there was actually an increase on.
It was a
We did
increase
increase.
asked, but we did not increase it until you all said that he came back with documents showing the ins and outs of things.
Oh, no, the increase, it was, the first ask was 3,600. And it was increased to 5,000.
No, it was 4224.
Correct.
And that's been what was
Since
given
day
to me
one.
since Mayor Copeland was in office.
That's
Because
correct.
this program has been going on for 34 years. I've never had to do this. I'm not saying I don't want to do it. I just have never had to do it. If it was said that they wanted me to do this and I wasn't at the meeting, how was I supposed to know? Nobody sent me a letter. I sent a letter into the city hall to be on this agenda for tonight. Nobody asked me for that information.
I think it was 2 years that we actually asked for it.
I was here 2 years ago.
That's what I'm saying. I think that's. when
And
we
nobody
asked
asked for it then because Alderman Gardner is the one made the motion to give the increase, but it wasn't given. It wasn't given till the next year.
And
That was pending.
And I wasn't here, so I
But
don't
that
know
was
who, I don't know who did it. I don't
But
know
that
who
was
motioned,
pending.
who voted for it.
well, that's,
That was pending
Yeah, I mean,
the records. I think we didn't do the increase in pending records. But that can be brought
What?
back through minutes. I mean,
Let-
Pi, you should have minutes on that meeting.
Let
And
me
I mean,
just-
we can argue all day long what was and what wasn't.
I mean,
but-
I don't think it's an argument. It's just a point of order.
okay.
Right.
And if you had given me that, I mean, even if you had, when I brought the letter up here and gave it to Ms. Deborah, if whoever got the letter
I
from
got the
her,
letter.
okay, would
I
have
got
just said, well, we need documentation showing who you employed last year.
Okay,
I would have had that with me, which even though I know who they were,
okay.
I mean, I could tell you who they were, but nobody asked for me to have that in writing. And every year, it seemed like it's something different. It seemed like it's, and I understand and I appreciate that you all are doing this. I wholeheartedly appreciate it. But it seemed like every year, this amount of money that is being funded for this program is a problem.
No, it's not, a pro- but let me ask you a question, then we'll move on, whether they want to vote on it, whether they want to wait till we get this information.
Yeah, I want,
Is there a problem with giving us the information?
I just said, it's no, the thing of it is, I pay the employees with this money, and if there's other necessities that comes up, if there's an excess with it, but the increase, when it was brought about, I was gonna increase the amount of money that the employees get. You know, everybody talking about gas going up, this going up, that going up. So I just, just like everybody else get raises, they've been getting paid the same thing the whole 32 years up until last year.
Just as a matter of, are you do you run it through a nonprofit?
Huh?
Do you run it through a nonprofit?
Of course, you all make me run it through my
Right.
church.
So,
So
or
so
when
you're
you-
not just giving it to me, you're writing it to my church, my
So
youth and young adult program,
are any of the funds given in cash, or are they all written in checks?
to the employees. We write, you all write a check to the church. The church write a check to my program, and I pay the employees in cash. I can get them to sign receipts every time I do that. I don't
Okay,
have a
that's-
problem with that.
That's probably going to be an issue paying with cash, I would think.
I mean, I can write them a check. I mean, it
It needs to
doesn't,
be written with a check, but it needs to be some kind of accounting. And Pastor, this is public money. Again, I promise you, I mean, yeah, maybe we didn't do it right. I'm not saying we did it right in the past. Probably was done wrong, that we didn't get the accounting for it. But I promise you, we're not getting these audit records that we just got from Silas Simmons because we're not doing what we're supposed to do. We're asking now going forward, if you could, to provide that information.
I can provide that information, but as far as if you're funding the money to the church, why did the church have to turn around and write those checks when you are already giving me the funds? If that's, I mean,
Because it's just, to me, Pastor, and I'm not saying this, what if you paid yourself? How would we know? How would we know that who's getting it and who got what? I'm not saying that. I'm just saying we couldn't just give that to anybody, just go, well, give it to this organization, and they wind up going away. We don't know. I mean, you got to have some kind of proof and documentation, Pastor. I mean, and it's not, hey, look, if I give you a donation, I give it to your church, you spend it like you want to. But this is public monies we're giving to you as a nonprofit, and we're asking for documentation to see who got the money. That's all we're asking for. And that should not be a problem.
Mayor, we're at a point in this conversation where it may end up being disrespectful on one end or another. I would ask that we table this until our next regular scheduled meeting.
Are you making a motion to table?
I'm gonna get to the motion to table it, but I'm trying.
can I speak on, well, after you call for it, I would like to say something about that.
So, are you at a point where you will allow me to?
Unless any other alderman have comments, any other alderman want to comment or have a question?
I move that we table this until our next regular scheduled meeting. And whatever we need to get, whatever we need, we're asking for, and whatever part we need to play in this, let's postpone it let's table it until our next regular scheduled meeting.
Motion's on the floor. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second made by Alderman Probst. Any more discussion between the
I got a
aldermen?
question.
Go ahead.
Because my program starts the first week of June, so what I'm supposed to do now?
They won't get paid until after they work for 2 weeks, and we'll be meeting by that time.
I don't have any confidence that you're gonna approve it.
Now, we're
And
gonna, I
can't
feel
pay
as
'em-
though,
I can't pay 'em out of my
just
pocket.
comments, or I feel as though we're gonna approve it,
There's a
Pending
motion, there's a motion on the
what we're
floor.
asking for.
Motion
And I don't
is
see anything
I
wrong
mean,
with
I
that.
can,
Hold
I can give you a
I got it.
proclamation.
I have a solution. We're having a special meeting on the 28th to deal with our budget, and we'll just add that to, as a thing, and that'll be prior to your June.
Okay,
That'll work.
now, are you asking me for who I paid last year?
Financial record.
I think, this is my opinion, I think we need to make us what we need, present it to him, let him sign off what he needs, and then we
We'll,
don't have
we'll,
any questions
and it's not
from either
something.
party, and we got it covered.
So this is what I have to say. I just feel like if due diligence was done in the past, and if there was already created a check and balance system in the past, we wouldn't be going through this on today. And I feel like going forward, I'm for the program because I know that our kids in the community participate and are there at the program. But I do know that you do have to do things legally right, so you can won't get no type of ethic violations. So I hope that we will go on and get this done now, so we won't run into this issue in the future.
And
We got it
I was
set.
just sitting here, it's kind of confusing me that we can actually write a check to a church.
Writing it to an
That's not a
organization
separate- Well,
inside
yeah.
the church.
Okay.
But we
Yeah,
got it, just like,
it's called Big
I'll just
Brother.
take, I'll use beautification as an example. She comes and asks for monies for beautification each year, and she says what she's going to do with it.
Mhm.
And then she brings us receipts where they got, banners to put on the riverfront, or they got lights, Christmas lights to put in the tree, which usually are delivered to us.
Yeah.
Things like that, and they bring receipts, and anybody that gets any monies out of that, they bring an accounting of it. Saying, I'll take the Concordia Youth Fund where they were redoing all the work down at the resource center. The man handling that is bringing us receipts and invoices on everything, with every check that's written. And we have documentation of it, and it's all done. And that's all we're asking anybody that the town does anything for like that, Pastor, is that we need that kind of documentation.
So are we
So
going
we
to
do
do
that.
what we said, what I asked to happen? Go ahead and make a schedule of what you need him to have?
Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay.
We'll do that.
That way we got
So
it.
motion on the floor, second. We go ahead and have a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, Pastor.
Let me get a,
He's gonna be contacted with who he needs to contact or sit down and talk to.
That motion that was on the floor was a motion
To table.
Hey,
table
to
it.
table until our next regular meeting in June.
Okay, you better
He
amend
had
He
that.
said a
We,
special.
he added a special
Special call
meeting, he
meeting.
added a
We'll have-
special meeting to it.
That was not the motion.
Okay. Can are we at the point where I can change my motion?
Sure. That's what you want to amend your motion to include it. I
A
would just say,
substitute motion.
Yeah.
I move that we table this until our next special meeting, which we will deal with budgetary items during that meeting.
and that'd be
What's the
on
date?
May the 28th. It'd be at 5:00. Okay? Motion, second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay,
So May the 28th,
May the 28th.
because
5:00.
that's not a good day for me. that you
Pastor
put that day
Riley,
out.
Pastor Riley, before you leave, the information that the town is requesting will be given to him.
He will have that information before the next meeting.
So-
He'll
It'll probably have for the end of the week.
He got,
Yeah.
can we get it to him by the end of this week?
He will get it before the end of
Thank you.
Okay.
So it would be you communicating with him, Ms. Wilson.
That's fine.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Pastor.
Okay, I have something to say. I see you said that special call meeting for the 28th, but I have work-related, something to do work-related on that day already. So can we look at other dates if possible?
We just gave him a date.
I know he just gave that date, but I didn't know the date, and I didn't know we was gonna have a special call meeting to say whether it was convenient or not. So that's what
Well,
I'm saying.
I mean, again, I don't know. It's just trying to get everybody's work schedule. We try to schedule everything around, it's just hard to get everybody. I mean, somebody else might have a problem on another date. I mean, it's just hard to pull that. So
So-
I don't know what to tell you. What does the Alderman want to do? What does the rest?
I work.
What other dates? Okay, check some
Any
other
day,
dates.
any
Ask
days
them.
from the
I don't
21st
have a
through the
problem. Most
27th.
days I'm busy every day.
From the
so-
21st through the 27th, I'm available.
Mayor, just give us a date other than the date that.
From the 21st through the
Any date that's-
27th, I'm
Mayor,
available.
What?
Yeah, we
date that's-
can't,
that's
we,
a problem.
Hold up, listen, we got to have, we got timing deals with our.
there's
with our-
15, there's a 15-day publication notice. So that notice is going in the paper this week. So the week, that's going to be the end of the 21st to the 27th. The 21st is going to be too early.
Okay, so anytime between the 21st and the 27th, I'm personally available.
I mean, you've got Memorial Day on the 25th.
Correct.
So that would be the 26th or 27th.
Either one of those days is convenient for me to be here.
26th of Tuesday. Is that
Does anybody got a problem with the 26th? Nobody?
Nobody.
that's fine?
Okay.
I don't listen.
Well, I'm not going back and re-amend that motion to go
That's-
to the 26th for special.
That's at 5 o'clock.
Well, wait, that's going to be in my reports. We'll set that then. I'll just, the 26th is what we said? Okay.
We
All right.
have, well, the 28th was what we had published, Mayor.
Oh, we published it already.
Well, it will be tomorrow.
Keep it the way it is.
Joe, is it
They
too
can-
late to
could-
change that?
That one day.
They publish on Wednesday mornings, so he can get that. Can you make sure we change that, get that done? No, the 20, yeah, no, the 26th. 26. Please, don't forget. Okay, all right. First, let's move on. We got board discussion, vote on approval of occupational license applications. Miss,
Just to change it.
yeah, a change of address. She's moved over one step over and yep, one step over.
We need to substitute the substitute.
To agenda item number 3 and change your motion to reflect the new date.
Council, do what now?
With a substitute.
Other motion.
You gotta change the date.
So you made it, Sean, so just changing the date, implementing the date. That's it. It's simple.
So, help me with this so I get it right
This time.
this time.
You had it right last time, it's been changed since then.
Yeah. We want to table this until our special meeting, whatever date it is,
May the 26th.
May the 26th, that everybody will be available for it.
Okay.
So bring
There's a
it-
motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Probst. What? Do what now?
Hold on. We got to clarify.
You like that, didn't you? You like that move.
I enjoy that.
I know you do.
I do.
Look at them shoes.
That's what I said.
You saw them shoes?
I was looking at them too.
All right, we're good. All right. Motion made, second by Alderman Probst. All in favor, say aye. Okay, back to number 4. Sabrina's moved her location over to her new office. It's very beautiful, so.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you, thank you. I just wanted to follow all procedures and make sure that I was updated, even though we don't have to, the insurance agencies don't have to go through the tax system.
Everything's been approved. You good to go.
Good deal,
Good luck.
thank you.
Everything looks great.
Thank you.
Okay. Next thing we have is board approval and vote on approval of sign application for Smitty's phone repair. That's in there. Any questions on that? Oh, we didn't, wait. I need a motion on Sabrina on change of address. Motion by Alderman
Second.
Best, second by Alderman Gardner. All in favor, say aye. Sorry about that. Next, we back to Smitty's phone repair sign approval. Any questions? Hear a motion to approve that sign?
You gonna do Sonic too?
Hmm.
You doing the Sonic too at the same time?
Oh, we're just gonna talk about Sonic.
Oh, okay.
Do I hear a motion to do Smitty's phone repair sign?
I'll make it.
Motion made by Alderman Best, here a second.
Second.
By Alderman Smith, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, Sonic's got some new signage, and I'm glad of that, but I'm hoping Do y'all see an exit sign going out on the west side of that park? Because how many of us have got jammed up in
They're on the
there?
wrong side the whole time.
Huh?
Been on the wrong side.
Oh, there's the exit. Okay.
That's it.
See, that's it, because right now, you see what's there, you can't see it. But I'm still not sure people are gonna pay attention to that, because you can see by the concrete going in there, trucks, semis are going in there with trailers, and they've got a crater dug out.
They're supposed to go all the way down.
And, they're supposed to go to the next turn-ins at the Sprint Mart station
I
there.
got another place in Vidalia we'll bring up one day. It's
December of that?
Probably as
Right
bad.
across the street from you.
Yeah.
Oh, it's awful.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
I've never had a problem going through there, but some people have.
But
Uh,
if you do it correctly.
But I mean, so, yeah, I'm glad to see that. Does anybody have any questions on that? We'll approve that. But can y'all think of anything else? Of course, that's state highway. Anything we do is going to require their approval for any kind of clarification that for arrows going in that one entrance or whatever. Because it's going to be road rage happen there one day. People done finished up their Sonic meal. trying
One
to
day,
get,
it's been happening.
it's been happening.
It's been happening.
People trying to get on the road and somebody trying to turn in, they're looking at each other
Yeah,
and
hollering and
hollering,
screaming.
screaming at each other, and you're pointing at the exit sign, but you can't read the exit sign.
Fire up there, boy.
Okay. All right, do I hear a motion to approve?
I make that motion.
Motion made by Alderman Gardner, here a second. Second by Alderman Probst, all in favor, say aye. Okay, now we have the presentation of a dividend. Boy, this is some good stuff here. Bo Pilgrim, come on forward. This is gonna be a presentation of a dividend check from the Louisiana Workers' Compensation Corporation to the town of Vidalia for low workers' comp claims for 2025. And Bo Pilgrim Reed Insurance is going to make this presentation, and I'm going to let him speak a minute, but I want to commend our employees for working safely. Not to say we haven't had accidents, but with the number of workers we have, we considered low workers' comp claims turned in for the number of workers we got. And that's we want to give some appreciation to our department heads and all of our leaders and police chief and fire chief and everybody involved for being safe. But this is very nice. Bo, you want to say something before we
Yeah, sure do.
do the presentation?
I sure do. So Bo Pilgrim Reed Insurance, also Patty Jones, who is, her father was the founder of the agency. I married in, but we've been insuring town, the town of Vidalia for quite a few years now. I'll echo what you said. All of the leadership in the town of Vidalia is fantastic to work with. The alderman, Vernon, Jay, and all the rest of the team are fantastic to work with. Always able to help us with whatever information so we can figure out how can we continue to make sure we've got the best product for the town, and also figure out how can we keep claims down as well, which helps to make programs like this available for the other WCC to be able to return back some of these money. So I brought a big check.
So I'm gonna go ahead and get the council down, and I could ask Sabrina and Joe if they would take a picture. So it's pretty nice little check.
There's a check for $214,900.
We taking two.
It's not pretty.
Oh, we got it. We got it. Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate it.
$210.
Thank y'all very much. That is a very, very, back when Jay and Deborah worked hard on this along with Bo and all of our people working to be safe. They do a lot of work, negotiating, through the years. We try to cut our insurance costs as much as possible. Everybody knows insurance has been really a tough thing on the municipalities, even personal and business people. It's really been going up, and to have something like that is really a big help. And thank y'all very much. Okay, next thing we have is the board discussion and vote to approve a resolution awarding the bid to TL Construction LLC for the project of DA Big Lane Road reconstruction. Okay, you have that. You saw the bid. We opened those and came in at 3.2 Yeah. And if you'll see on there, the bid, it's got an alternate on it for 276,950,000. I was going to ask the council if they wanted to do this. I've got some opinions on it, but I'm going to ask that we approve this bid, but I want to discuss alternate one with it. We could add 276,000, right at 277,000 to do, Dustin, if you put this up on the board so people can see what we're talking about, what the alternate would be. It's adding something to the base of the road itself.
This is a link. No, that's it.
There it is. This is something that they're saying will make that stabilize that road more for that type of soil out there. Everybody knows that Airport Road, Bell Grove, and all those subdivisions out there have very, very unstable foundations. I guess that's the best way I can put it. And that's another reason why DA Big Lane Road is in the shape that it's in, is because of the unstableness of that foundation. Do we want to encourage, because this isn't a guarantee. I mean, I've not seen any road projects where the money's spent in, say, 5 years, 8 years down the road, it doesn't work, they're not coming back to fix it. I don't think there's any guarantees with this. I just wanted to get the board's opinion. I have mine. But
growing up down there.
You were on Audubon Acres.
Yeah.
Can you tell us more about the soil out there? What does your parents' driveway look like?
You better do something. I mean, really, I don't know. I'm like you. I don't know anything. But if you don't do anything, you know what it's going to look like. Kind of way I look at it. It just should have stayed a cotton field or bean field, whatever it was before. It's bad on slabs.
Any other comment?
So this basically helps from erosion or something?
So the extra fortification will,
Pardon?
that's extra fortification that will give us a guarantee.
That's not a guarantee.
It's not a guarantee.
It's what this company is saying would help in that type of soil to make that road more, give it more longevity.
But we don't have anybody else that's used it before. Probably not.
Hammond Associates have not had anybody or any dealings with this product.
So we're basically taking a chance on a new product that nobody has really gave any kind of.
Well, I'm sure we could find something, but I mean, I'm just going on, they're saying this is what it'll do for that soil out there. That's what the company is selling it. And it's just, my personal opinion is I think it should be designed when they did because they did the geo borings of it. It should be designed now to withstand it and last for several years on the original design. This came up after it was approved.
What about load limits and all on that road? I mean,
Pardon?
is there any load limits won't even make an effect on, I guess? I mean, that's just bad ground out there. It doesn't matter. My daddy and them lived out there. It didn't matter. It shifts big time.
Yeah.
Bad.
And you're gonna have, you got farm trucks going through there. They're gonna be going to the port. You're gonna be bringing $100,000, trucks. I don't know what the load limit on that bridge is. I don't think that load.
Yeah. If it's been dry for a long time, you need to watch where you step.
That's
Not
right.
disappear. I mean, cracks.
But it's the
like
council's pleasure what you want to do.
Well, I know this is gonna be our only bite at the apple, and we've been listening to this for about 15 years or more, off and on.
I've been listening to it for 10 years, but I've been trying to get help on it, but I haven't been successful.
And,
Cornell has a question.
Cornell?
Oh. I just want to give my opinion about that. A lot of the roads in those areas, basically what that is designed is like a honeycomb. And the problem in a lot of those areas when they construct those roads and stuff, the base, what it does is just like that base with the rocks, that is designed to hold the base in place. And what it does, if that wasn't there with the soil condition, as it is right now, when it rains and stuff, the road, it's squishy. And what it's doing is just pushing the the base out. What that does, it actually contains your base in its spot, in its location, because overseas, what they do, they actually take used tires and they cut the top out of it and they put those rocks in there. It's the same concept. My personal opinion, it'll be worth doing that because it does work. You know, I know y'all haven't seen that, but the whole idea is actually to maintain your base of, you know, what you got. I really do believe it's gonna work.
Okay, I appreciate your input for sure.
Thank you for breaking that down.
Let me ask you a question, Cornell, since you also serve on the police jury.
Yes.
And parish roads are not always in good shape.
Right.
All right, would y'all consider this?
If we had the money, that's exactly what I would be recommending doing.
Okay, okay. Well, the concept, I think the concept is good. My problem is this is an afterthought. They come in with a bid and say, we can do this for this, we can build you a road that is good this, but now we think you need to add this. Well, my problem with that is, how come they didn't bring that in the front?
Yeah, I didn't talk with KJ, but my
This
question
was the engineers adding this to it as an alternative,
now,
not the contractor. This was the engineer's alternative because he had seen this on another project. So he added it as a way to just say, hey, this is an alternative plan, but to say that they've never worked on a project using this. So they can't speak to experience on its effectiveness. So it wasn't the contractor coming in later. This was an engineer's recommendation as a possible add-on. It's part of the contractor's contract.
The material itself, is that going to be the cost? I mean, is TL Construction going to get extra money to put this down?
No,
Is
that's
that
the
all
total,
inclusive?
that's
All inclusive?
all inclusive.
Okay.
I got an idea, kind of like Jerry Jones tried to pull on my brother-in-law's architect firm. He wanted them to build that Cowboys Stadium for nothing for advertising, to advertise there. I wonder if they could cut us a cost or cut the cost if we work together to go, okay, this will be your little red wagon if it works. You'll be able to go sell this all through.
Well, they've already got, I'm sure they've got, this isn't a new company, this isn't a new technology, it's just new to us.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, that they said they had nothing to go on. I mean, they didn't have,
Engineer.
I'm talking about they can't show us any results of somebody using that, right?
They can, we just hadn't asked.
We
for
just
it.
hadn't asked for them. This
Okay.
just came up, yesterday?
I think that's a good question to ask.
I mean-
Show us some proof if you got it. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with.
They don't have any proof.
There's nobody got this?
Well, the engineers don't. I
No,
mean,
but-
this,
All right.
they just don't have any experience on
Let me
this yet.
let me just, because it's going to be probably after our next meeting before they get started, because they're going to go, this same company's got the project on Concordia Avenue where the sinkholes, the other sinkholes are. They're going to fix those, then they're going to get on DA Big Lane Road. So they got to do those projects first. I think we have time, if we want to table it, for us to do more research on this, for us to make a good decision on this, see whether or not it'd be worth it.
So-
Maybe
so my-
reach out to some other, how long has this been around?
Mhm.
What are some other communities that's used it? What's been the longevity of it? Did it do what it's supposed to?
So my question is this how exactly it's gonna look, or is it gonna have another overlay on top of this product?
That's just your
What do you
base.
mean?
So you have
It's gonna be a road.
You'll have a pavement on
it's
it.
gonna look like a regular road.
Yeah.
That's what I'm asking, because
That's
I've
just
never
your
seen it
base.
before either, so I
That's
don't.
just the base. That's just the base. They'll dig down into the road that's there, and they'll dig down enough where when they put that down and that other stuff, the asphalt goes over where
Okay.
the rocks go.
Yeah,
The rock fill that in, and then the asphalt
I'm
go over that.
unfamiliar with that, that's why I asked those
Okay.
questions.
Or, it'd be helpful to ask whoever was going to do this, hey, have y'all ever done this in gumbo before? How did it work?
Yeah. What's the council's pleasure? We can move on.
I'd like to table this.
Okay. Motion made by Alderman McCoy to table, second by Alderman Probst. All in favor, say aye. Okay.
Can we
All
get
right.
a roll call on that, man? Or was everybody on?
It was everybody, is anybody opposed? Okay. All right. Next thing we have is board discussion and vote of approval for AirMed Care Network Municipal Site Membership for Town of Vidalia, Louisiana for April 26th through April 20 of 2027. And we have Ms. Sherry Ike with us here tonight. Hey, Sherry. You want to?
Yes.
Are you able to hear me?
That you were fixing to call her. We've had some realignment within our company. So Georgia Allen, which is going to be on the phone to talk to you guys about the municipal site the plan. But I'm here for support or any questions or concerns on the local level.
I am on the line. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, we hear you.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Sherry, thank you. Mayor and Alderman, my apologies for not being able to attend in person. I have had a death in my family that I traveled back to Michigan for. So joining you guys by phone, Sherry and I have spoken, Jay and I have talked as well. And, I think the history here in terms of the program, we've had this partnership going back to 2015. And I understand there have been a transport or two that may have created some questions within the board there. And I mean, I can go over various kind of details, or if you'd like to just kind of jump into any specific questions that you guys may have, I'm happy to just move towards that and speak to those things.
Yeah, one of the questions I had, especially, I think all of us know that there's two other helicopter services in Concordia Parish now.
Yep.
My question is now for a citizen, for us to get that benefit, of course, if the town's paid this benefit and we have a citizen get in a wreck out there, how do the emergency personnel know to call, hey, this is a Vidalia resident, that the AirMed can come flying for, Vidalia's paid that bill for them.
Right.
Or, who they going to, are they going to call Acadian? Are they going to call Pafford? Or are they going to call AirMed? And, the Vidalia citizen sitting there and can't speak because he's been hurt bad. I mean, how does that work? I mean, what can we do? Yeah, because it does create some issues and I think Acadian's got a helicopter that stays on the pad at Merritt now. Trinity.
Yes.
Full time. And I mean, what do y'all do when y'all need to fly in? Do y'all land an adjacent spot or parking lots? How do y'all handle those things?
They move.
Pardon?
They move.
They move it?
Yes. Whenever we come in, they know to move it.
Okay.
Or we will land in the grass next to them.
Okay. So that's not an issue.
No.
I did
No. Yeah, I think the primary challenge here is that unfortunately, obviously you guys have seen some increase in aircraft in the last 18 to 24 months, where I think previously we may have been air evac, probably the only responding. And we do have 5 different bases that we will respond to and transport from that area, so that if we have aircraft that's not available, get lots of things to consider. But we have pulled from 5 different aircraft in the last year to transport about 40 people, and 20 of those individuals that we transported were covered under that MSP, the municipal site plan. Your question in terms of how do we ensure that an individual is transported by AirMed Care is one that unfortunately none of us have any control over. And the primary reason for that is that 911 dispatch So the way I understand it for Concordia Parish is that dispatch has a rotation. So they will go through that call rotation, and it could be based upon um, location, right? Proximity, also availability. As you know, not all aircraft are available 100% of the time, right? We have, and I'm just going to make an assumption that Pafford and Acadian also adhere to the FAA standards in terms of the ability to fly, obviously in inclement weather. And it's not just weather where you are, it's weather where we're going as well. And I think, probably dealing with some of those microclimates. But generally speaking, if there's an individual that is with a member, let's say, person X has had some kind of a medical emergency and there's someone present that understands that they have membership, they can denote that to 911 dispatch or to the local hospital, especially if it's a hospital transport, that they can ask for air med care. Individuals cannot ask for air med care, and we are only dispatched by the 911 dispatch or by a hospital request to transfer. And we don't have any control over either one of those entities, nor do we have access to their recording systems. So we have no idea the frequency with which they may be calling us compared to another provider for either one of those entities.
Can I
Yeah,
ask
go
a
ahead.
question? Can I
Absolutely.
interrupt you for a minute?
Sure.
Doesn't that dilute the value of what we're paying now? I mean, I'm just trying to think, and again, I think it's a great service. I think it's something I'm completely for. But is there some way we can look at it? Because since that value is diluted by just being every other third call being made by 911, is there some way we can look at some kind of reduction on the cost of it? I'm just asking from trying to.
Yeah. No, I appreciate the question, and the comments relative to the value. From my perspective, the value has not declined, even though there are two other entities that are now represented there. It does provide greater access in the event that a helicopter is unavailable, whether it's maintenance or crew, those types of things. The the one of the important pieces here is that this agreement's been in place since 2015, and although you guys have talked earlier about inflation and costs increasing and so forth, that's hit our industry as well, as you can imagine, on multiple levels. And so you actually have a grandfathered rate, and it's highly unlikely that there would be an opportunity to discount that. I could certainly follow back up on that, but given that there were 20 individuals that fell under the guidelines in terms of where they were transported from, right? Concordia, Catahoula, and Adams. The average cost of those flights was roughly 78,000 per flight, and we were reimbursed at a rate of about 21% relative to those costs. So we're not making more money as a result of more or less from a flight perspective. We're actually probably ingesting less because of insurance relative to the actual payers. The mean, this is a challenge. There's no way for me to, unfortunately, try to sugarcoat this. I think what we can do with Sherry's assistance and with the assistance of our operations folks is to increase the education and awareness that we bring to your residents. And, you know, as I understand it, both Pafford and Acadian have membership as well. I don't think they're the equivalent type of no, you know, no copay, no deductible that we have, but in environments where you have multiple resources available, sometimes that alternative ensures individuals that they will not have a bill regardless who flies them, right?
Are we
Any,
getting?
council got questions?
Yeah, I got some questions.
This is John Vest on the board. I've got a question. I've had AirMac in the thing before the town ever started. When y'all first came in to that, I was aware of your program from living in Arkansas, and when I moved to Louisiana, they didn't have it. And so when y'all moved down here, well, I signed up for it because I wanted that protection for it. And as you said, you were the only ones that was here, which, okay, well, that's it. And now everybody gets into competition and different things. But, you know, even if the town didn't have it, I would still have it. But if I needed it, what's my chances of AirMed picking me up?
That's a great question, and I don't have access to the data to provide you with a correct response because we do not have access to 911 data. We don't know who they've dispatched. We only know when we've been dispatched and what our responses are, whether we pick up or, you know, we decline the transport due to weather, or if there's some other issue or that, you know, bird is not available. And with regard to the hospital, I don't know if they're doing a rotation. Obviously, that helicopter is sitting at Acadian, but we do know that we are doing transports as well. So, you know, there's definitely a gray area there, and I, you know, don't have a sure-proof response for you that it would be Air Medcare that would be picking you up.
Yeah. Well, I would certainly hate to be like that and thinking that I have air coverage and then I get this bill for $78,000.
I agree.
Yeah.
I will add to what Georgia is saying, that if you are able, I mean, there's no guarantee from any service out there, from ground, air, there's no guarantee it's going to be that particular service that's going to pick you up.
Mm-hmm.
You do have the right to choose. You do have the right to request and refuse. Okay.
Right.
So if you are able and you're calling 911, you let them know that you have air evac. That's who they're going to activate. If you were at the hospital, you let them know that you have air evac.
Mm-hmm.
That's who they're going to activate. And then the other 5 aircrafts that you saw on the screen, if that one's not available, we have those other 4 aircrafts that we can reach out to. But again, it's not bulletproof.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I can't guarantee that 100%.
So my question is there not some type of alert system that alerts and tells that this person is a member and, you know, to send them for this particular person versus these? Because I didn't even know we had the other 2 additional. And I previously, from one of my jobs here in Vidalia, the company that I work for here paid for the service, I think about in 2010, and it covered you and a couple people in your home. So when I became an alderman in 2016 and we decided, I thought this was a great idea and an opportunity as well to have full coverage on everybody within the community as well. But to me, if it was some type of alert to say, hey, this person is a member, and this person should be the ones picking them up. Looks like it's something that you could do or create some kind of system to navigate that.
Tattoo?
Yeah.
No, I'm playing.
No, I
I'm
want to say
playing there,
too,
but-
I want to say, okay, as those other services outside our area, you know, you get the family plan, get outside the area, travel anywhere.
Right.
Stafford and all them have that same thing, and are they that available just like y'all are throughout the United States?
They are not.
That's what I thought. So that's another positive that y'all have compared to them.
But
So
to be,
it sounds like to me, we're talking about casual situations where the emergency room has made a decision that somebody needs to be transported, right? We're talking
Yes, there's a clinician that has made a determination, whether that's on site at a scene, calling 911, or someone within the hospital that has made a determination that this individual needs to be transported. And to Sherry's point, sir, if there's anyone there that's present, so a family member or the individual themselves that, right, because people have, they have stickers, they have cards for their wallet that show that they have membership. And they can request that the call goes out to air evac.
Okay, all that's sounds good. Our issues here, if there's an emergency situation, those dispatchers don't take it upon themselves to call air evac. Situations end up in the hospital, and then there's transport then. And we're talking about precious time. And we're talking about precious time, and
Yes.
you checking my insurance card or my sticker. I think what we had initially when there was only one, if something happened to a Vidalia resident, that bird, that chopper, whatever it was en route when necessary. If it was, I've seen them in the middle of the highway, wherever it needed to be. We're talking the confines of the emergency room, where the doctor says we're going to transport this person, to an emergency situation where time is of the essence.
Correct.
So we're talking about two or three services, and you got precious cargo here, and we're waiting for somebody to determine who can fly.
No, the point you're making is absolutely 100% valid and accurate, right? When life or limb are in the balance, if I'm on site at an accident that's occurred and my family member, and I know that we have membership, to Sherry's point, we can tell them we have air evac membership, and they can request that dispatch be for our bird. If somebody is unable to communicate that or not aware of that, then 911 or the hospital are going to go through whatever their rotation is.
so for me, and I just want to clearly be realistic about the services. I personally think, I'm glad and I'm grateful to have that particular company. But if it's a life or death situation, whoever can get me first,
yes,
and save my life, and I can wake up and the ground is not on top of me and I'm still on top of the ground, regardless of if I get a $78,000 bill or not, I don't personally care about that. I would like to see us keep this service because of it being able to help our people here in Vidalia. But for me personally, as my own individual self, whoever can get me first, if it's a die need, please.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. You talk about educating people around you, but I hope my family's smart enough to say whoever that is right there ready to go.
Correct.
Instead of.
Yeah.
I would like to make just a recommendation to the alderman to go ahead and do this. That sounds like they want to keep it, but I would like to share with you guys come up with some type of, like Brent said, education or
Yeah.
whether it's even sticking a sticker on a vehicle. Hey, if there's a vehicle in an accident and you see that sticker on it, call AirMed if they're available. I mean, that's going to be a kicker. I think that's what we're hearing. It sounds like, does anybody here on the council not want to keep this service?
I think it's a great.
It's 19.
I have the extended coverage. My coverage renews in July. If the board chooses not to renew, then I've already paid for my review. How does that affect the extended service that we have the option to buy?
That's good. That's a good question.
Yeah. So,
Go ahead.
yeah, the extended service with those discounted rates is intact as this contract is. And so whatever your coverage, sir, if your coverage is up in July and the board were not to renew, then you would not be offered that additional discount. You'd be at the traditional.
But it sounds like we're fixing to renew it.
Right.
So you'll be all right. But it's a good question though.
Or maybe if it was like health insurance had in-network, out-of-network, maybe the other two people could, or other companies could be out-of-network.
But
Hey,
last thing I'll say, I want to make sure that any citizen that gets the extended coverage is not charged full service for the full thing. I want them to pay for extended only if they're a Vidalia resident.
Yeah.
I don't want anybody out there buying full coverage when they already could get it for extended. You see what I'm saying?
Correct.
I would ask that of you guys.
Yeah.
For us to do that and continue to do.
We also did include our employees that did not live here within Vidalia in the services plan too. Am I correct?
I think we
That is
We
the
did.
census plan. That's a separate plan that the city of Vidalia adds to the benefit package for them.
Right.
Yes, I remember we went back to the drawing
Okay,
board on this.
so it sounds like, okay, does anybody want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Motion made by Alderman Best here, second by Alderman Gardner, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank y'all very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. All right, moving on, public hearing of an ordinance providing for the allowance of carts to be permitted by the town of Vidalia and allowed to be driven on the streets within the town of Vidalia corporate limits per LARS 32-299.4G. Motion we go into, do I hear a motion we enter into public hearing?
I'll make it.
Motion by Alderman Best here, second by Alderman Smith. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We're in public hearing now. I think Ms. Cassandra's headed to the microphone.
I won't say nothing until you finish what you wanted to say.
No, floor is yours.
Good. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I have some concerns about the golf cart. You know, maybe one day down the road I may need one, but I think there's some issues that have been brought to my attention. One night I'm driving home and I'm at the stop sign and almost run into the back of a golf cart because it has no lights. And a good thing I pay attention. And it was blackness, but my lights reflected that there was something in front of me. And just last week, I'm going down Carter Street and another one of these little carts pull out in front of me from the side road. Disregarding, I had the green light, they just came to the light, made the right, going towards McDonald's. Okay,
I do want to remind everybody, we try to limit, your
3
time.
minutes.
3
I
minutes.
can do it in 3 minutes. You interrupted me, so I got half a minute left.
I give you back 15 seconds.
Okay. I know that they're convenient, but they work well in campgrounds and in retirement communities, and that's not us. They should be where slower traffic is, and that's not us. This is a lot of speeders around here. They don't have enough safety features. They don't have airbags. They don't have enough visible lighting. And it's a lot of young people driving them. that do not have driver's license. And if one of these young people get into an accident on these vehicles and end up with a closed head injury because they don't wear helmets, that is something no parent or nobody that hit them want to deal with. Do they have license? How old are they? Do they have insurance? And like I said, they're great for a college campus, a campground, a gated neighborhood, but that's not Vidalia. And we need to make sure that we keep all our people safe. Those who want to ride these little carts and those of us who want them to be in the right spot and not in my way when I'm driving. That's not my 3 minutes, but I'll get that.
Thank you very much. All right, next.
I just hope you will consider some things here about the ordinance or approving the ordinance. I got a copy of the ordinance, but I know, and it's been stated before in a meeting, we already have an ordinance covering golf carts. That ordinance is listed in Muni Code 36-1. And basically, it states that you're adapting the State Highway Regulatory Act rules, which is in RS 32-1 and following. So we already have one. The problem seems to be, to me, and I've made several complaints and violations about the same things that she had mentioned there. Our golf cart owners and the operators here do not observe any kind of rule. And the other part of it is they're not enforced. Louisiana Revised Statute number 32-41 indicates, and it's not in the ordinance that I got a copy of, that the areas where the golf carts are to be used, you have the right to do an ordinance, but where they are allowed, all of those areas should be marked at all intersections with signage that indicates to expect some, maybe some traffic that you'll experience in golf carts. Basically, this proposed ordinance would result in some increased risk to the public, in that if you allow them on, more are going to be on, and therefore more accidents are apt to happen, particularly if no one is enforcing it well and no one is observing it on their own as an operator or an owner. And that's a real problem. It is. The people that might benefit from this, or not people, but entities that might benefit from having one, is the owners or the renters or the users of electric golf carts, only electric golf carts, not any of a similar nature that might be gas driven. The golf cart businesses, people who sell golf carts, would benefit. Insurance providers would benefit in that they're required to be insured. And of course, the ordinance as it's written would require it again, even though the state requires them already. I'm suggesting that the town does not benefit because it'll have to take on some new administrative things. The general public will not benefit because there are increased safety risks to having an ordinance allowing them onto the streets. And also our police department is going to have to add some administration or whatever, I believe, to take care of it, which to my knowledge, there has never been, despite the law in existence, both in our ordinance and the town and the state ordinances, of any enforcement. And that's a must for any ordinance you guys write. It should be enforced. And if we don't have it enforced, it's not worth the paper you put it on.
Okay, thank you, Ray. All right.
I just want to clear up some misconception on the golf cart deal. First, there's a difference between a golf cart and the LSV. LSVs are what's sold today. Most of all your golf carts today are classified as LSV. All right. Our ordinance doesn't state anything in there about LSV. So regardless of it, that's got to be put in there. LSVs are low speed vehicles. You can go get a tag just like a car. All of your companies now are adapting the golf cart to an LSV, lights, seat belts, all that above, just to be able to ride on the roads. So, and as far as all we're wanting to do is add some strict guidelines that's going to regulate the laws, because I've been chief 10 years. We went back on the public information for years back. You're right. There's not been any ticket wrote before me at all. So there's a precedent saying you can ride golf carts. It's been that way for years. Been that way before me, way before you. So there's getting to be more carts. We want to regulate them. We're going to write tickets. We're going to do all of the above, but you got to start somewhere. Probably half of the state has already adopted our ordinance, and the other half is working on it. There needs to be an ordinance. The ordinance now only states golf carts, so nothing about LSV. So we got to add that in there.
Council, got any questions?
Existing golf carts being made into LSVs.
Okay, the normal person, the only way you're going to tell whether a golf cart is a golf cart and the LSV is the VIN number. That's it. So there's no other way to tell.
Okay.
That's why until we get something in place, my guys don't know the difference between the golf cart and the LSV.
So you're gonna have to do training.
No. This is going to simplify it. This is going to allow all golf carts, LSVs on the highway, but you got to have insurance, street legal, lights, turn signals, obey all traffic signals, mirrors, insurance, and tag.
Let me say this as far as just my thoughts on it. A lot of people will see some of the more, a lot of people look at more progressive communities, retirement communities that allow golf carts. That's a plus to some people wanting to retire that love riding around in a neighborhood. Like Mr. Ainsworth said earlier, or somebody said about far as you got to have some type of signage saying carts are allowed in this area. We do know that the council has said by law, those carts can't cross Carter Street. I think that's what
They can cross, they can't go down.
What? Council, can they
cross
cross?
the state
I thought.
Yeah, they can cross.
They can't cross.
Not unless you have a permit from the department, from the DOT.
That's my question.
So
I
that's-
had to write down when everybody gets through.
LSVs on the state law can cross the state highway, they just can't go down.
With the Department of Transportation.
Yeah.
But anyway, let me finish my thought. I'm not against golf carts. I think everybody's problem is children on golf carts.
And like I said, this is strict guidelines. Licensed driver, you will get issued a ticket if you don't follow the guidelines in the
So
ordinance.
we approve this tonight. I mean, your officers will have the ammunition they need to start enforcing the ordinance as written. You know, one of the questions because it's a question I think, you know, one of the questions somebody had, there was some on here I wanted turned in before that I wanted to answer, and I've got it here somewhere, right, just very fast, is, I hope I brought it in here.
Yeah,
Yes, one of the questions was if we, oh, here it is.
They're gonna have to get.
Will, if,
Been a president there for 30 years.
okay, who will enforce the ordinance? You will. The police department will enforce it. And if the cart's not legal on the road, will it be towed, or what will happen to it? Will they, you know,
It'd be just like regular traffic violation. We don't tow a car for somebody not having a driver's license. We write them a ticket.
right,
We don't tow a car for.
okay. And the
minor-
last question I have, I'll answer it. Will the city be liable if not enforced if someone gets hurt? Absolutely not. The city's not responsible for kids getting out there, or somebody getting out there and having a wreck. Even, I mean, just because the police can't enforce every speeder, every stop sign, everybody that's violated the law, they're not gonna all get caught. So if somebody's out there and there's no knowledge of it and they have an accident, somebody gets hurt, that's on the parent or whoever got hurt in it. It's just that counsel, am I wrong? Would somebody have a hard time trying to prove the count just because, oh, we didn't catch this person?
Basic law now states it's illegal to have a dog. Unless it's an ordinance to that effect.
Already covered by the state law.
Incorrect.
That's not right.
Incorrect.
Well, what's incorrect?
The statement you just made,
Well, in what manner?
the entire statement.
Oh, come on now. Right. Look.
It's against the law to have a golf cart on any state highway or any road within a parish or a town unless a town or parish adopts an ordinance as this to make it legal. And there's certain requirements that you have to go by to have that. Therefore, that's what your statement was incorrect.
So I'm still correct. The ordinance says that none are allowed.
No, that's not what it says. It's state law under 299.4 states. that.
And it does allow the municipality to make rules as long as they don't exceed or don't just.
Super succeed.
What is it? Where is
Or 35-mile speed limit, or not in the residential area.
No, there's 25 in residential.
Well, there's 25-mile-an-hour speed limits within neighborhoods.
I ain't even looked it up.
Then they are going to restrict some of that 35-mile-an-hour traffic.
Well, they speed.
Now, you might have some streets that are under.
No, I'm talking about if somebody 35 miles an hour runs over somebody in a 25 mile an hour over speed.
All of our residential areas,
25.
right, all of our residential areas are 25 miles an hour.
I'm suggesting that you should all consider another thing too. When you say that, when you have insurers benefit from this, golf cart owners benefit from it. But there is some conflict of interest rules that you might consider too. If you are an insurer on this board alone, then it would smack of an ethics thing if you give the appearance of conflict of interest by voting yes or something that might benefit.
Well, just let me ask you a question. You gotta have car insurance to be on the highway, right? You gotta have insurance in your vehicle, correct?
That's right. But you're going to increase the number of possibilities for you to buy insurance.
I tell you what, I mean, if I was to approve this, I would donate that $15 to charity.
I don't care what.
Because you ask Sabrina or Bo or, I mean, that's reaching, and this goes back, this really, I've got some phone calls today, and everybody knows me, knows I'm as fair as anybody you'll ever meet. All Joey, from talking to Joey, all he is wanting, well, let me back up a minute, because this problem he runs into, my neighbor, front of me, beside me, I could have, I think
I see Stephanie out there. She's got an older golf cart. They pull her over. I ride by on my new one, wave and smile. Well, she's like, oh, why didn't you pull him over? Well, that's a low-speed vehicle. He's got a tag. It's perfectly legal. All he's trying to do is put everybody on the same page so that an officer is not trying to determine. And I get it.
Fred, I had no intentions of offending you.
No, you're not offending me.
offending Joey.
You know, we're just trying to explain it to you.
You should consider them. If there is an appearance of conflict of interest by either of you, then you ought to abstain from any vote on this thing or any introduction.
I mean,
I'm just suggesting that there is the appearance of a conflict of interest in one here.
All I want to do is treat everybody in this room fairly. You, everybody. When did you come to us, Joe? When did you come to the board suggesting we get
the public has been coming to me for years.
Yeah,
on this.
but I mean, remember we discussed it at a board meeting. Well,
Yeah.
remember you brought, I can't remember exactly. when.
Years ago.
That, it was before you ever
Yeah,
opened
it
up.
was 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I was
Ordinance, this is
in
clear.
it before I ever even had anything to do with it.
And all I wanted to do, because I heard somebody say, well, Brent brought it, put it on the agenda.
Let me go ahead and bring it. Council has I think some language he wanted to bring out in this, and let's go ahead and bring us to, because basically what we wanted, I think, is anybody here and not in agreement for us to adopt something and enforce it. Is that what we're here to do today? I think that's what.
It should be tabled until some things are ironed out, not declined,
Well-
not voted against, but there's some legal language I think that needs to be updated.
Well, he's council's reviewed it, and he's fixing to bring some clarity to it right here.
Thank you, Mayor. It was brought to my attention to look over it a few weeks ago, and I did. I made a bunch of corrections to it. I've looked at it some more. There's some more issues that I have with it in regards to definitions. But the bottom line, like I was speaking to Mr. Ray a few moments ago, that the state law states as follows: the operation of a golf cart upon the public roadways or streets of this state is prohibited except as otherwise provided for this subsection. So the town has to adopt an ordinance to make it legal for golf carts to be in the city streets or highways or roads. The definition of a cart, and Dustin, if you can go to section 1, number 3, definition of a cart.
You're at it. Go ahead. You're at it.
There you go, right there. So in the statute, and I say the statute, I'm talking about Louisiana Revised Statute 299.4 defines cart a little bit differently that's in there. I would suggest you do the statute, which is a golf cart means any electric four-wheel vehicle originally intended for the use off-road or golf courses of other green spaces whose maximum speed is 25 miles per hour. In regards to that, it would encompass older golf carts or this newer type version with the low-speed vehicle that would cover both, not just the one. In regards to where a golf cart can be used, reading the same statute under B2, a golf cart may be used to cross a part of a state highway where a golf cart course is constructed on both sides of the state highway, if the Department of Transportation Development has issued a permit for the crossing. Therefore, unless we have 2 golf courses in Vidalia, which I'm unaware of, any of them, then we can't cross the highway. That's prohibited. So the first definition, I would go to cart, and then in the language in this current statute dealing with crossing the highway, which is going to be in section 2, number 1, right there. So the ordinance only allows for the operation of carts on public streets, roads, and pathways. Anything and designated highways crossing within the town of Vidalia would need to be eliminated. Number 2, that same section, this ordinance pertains only to carts as defined here, and it does not apply to lawnmowers, tractors, or other, it should be other means of conveyance. Number 6, a little bit further down, Dustin. That also should be eliminated. The last part of that section, carts are prohibited from operation on all state highways within the municipality, except that would be eliminated as well. Number 15, that same section, right there, that entire portion should be eliminated. because there should be no crossings unless we have 2 golf courses in the town. And that would be all the changes that I would make to it if the aldermen want to adopt it. I take no position on it one way or the other, but in regards to the enforcement, obviously the chief and his department would write tickets for any violation of any city ordinance or, since Mr. Ainsworth identified it earlier, the town has adopted 32, 41, and 42, which basically adopts all the 32 statutes for the town. Therefore, that's what I prosecute in city court is violations of those. And this would also be a violation of a town ordinance, and it would be prosecuted in city court.
Okay.
But but in regards to what the cart needs, there's an extended list. You go back to section, a little bit further down, section 210. 210. There. That's everything that's in the state statute the cars must be equipped with. So it's the rear view mirror, reliable steering, red reflective warning devices in both the front and the rear of the vehicle, headlights and brake lights. I think that's going to go to some other safety issues brought up. Brakes sufficient to stop the cart safely, seat belts for the drivers and the passengers, and safe tires. So all those are going to pertain to that. And also in number 9, it's got to have a valid driver's license. I think we should take out the state of Louisiana because that would bar anybody that was visiting somebody from Mississippi or Texas or wherever, and they were using somebody's cart here in the town of Vidalia. That would be a violation unless you had a driver's license from this state, which obviously, if you were issued a driver's license from another state, I think that you would just be a licensed driver. So issued by the state of Louisiana, I think should be eliminated as well.
Is that the changes you recommend for
That's
this
the changes
ordinance?
I recommend to the ordinance that's been submitted, and I can certainly put some more time and energy and effort into it. I didn't create the document, but I can certainly find some other issues with it every time I read it.
Some of the stuff you mentioned was what I had on my list to bring up. Which, the question I got is on the safety belts. It doesn't say they have to be worn, but is that a known law in the state?
That is correct.
Okay.
32, 295.1.
So they have to be worn.
It's a seatbelt violation.
Can I get a copy of your recommendation that you,
Yeah, I've got a copy of it here. I can certainly get Ms. Wilson to make a copy of it for everybody.
Does council want to adopt the ordinance as it is so he can start enforcing with the changes that the council's made? I see heads shaking.
We can.
Yeah, I agree with what he just said.
All right, do I hear a motion to accept the ordinance as, well, no, we've got to exit public hearing. Okay, all right.
Question.
Happy Sanders, thank y'all for letting me speak. I just wanted to talk about the, any violations on the golf carts and any tickets being written. As we know from, and I'll be glad to share this with y'all, I have a letter here for a public records request that was from December 4th of 25. And it's a letter requesting information on any tickets written for golf carts. And I'm going to quote, all citations, summons, tickets, written warnings, or other documented action taken by officers of the Vidalia Police Department concerning the operation of a golf cart on any public street, road, or highway within the town of Vidalia from July 1st, 2016 through November 20th, 2025, including but not limited to all these citations, tickets, summons, warnings, and I'll skip down to LARS 32-299.4. And it says at this time, we cannot fulfill this request as the documents you're requesting are non-existent within the Vidalia Police Department. Please feel free to reach out with any other concerns. I'm having concerns because I feel like the chief stood here and gave y'all lip service. Oh, they're going to enforce it now. If y'all will approve it, why not then? There are many reasons that he could have written a ticket, given a warning, and that has not happened. I know he was not in office in 2016, but he has been for the past few years. And I've seen a number of golf carts increase in our area. I've had people whip out in front of me just a few times. I'll be driving through neighborhoods, showing a house or whatever. I came over last weekend and saw 2 whipping around with all kinds of people hanging off of them, kids, adults. I have heard that there are adults drinking and driving and going around having a great time and being very irresponsible, and someone's going to get hurt with that. And I just feel like, say what people want to hear, get it approved. And to me, he has a personal, gain in this. He owns the golf cart place. I mean, why not want to get it approved? I mean, he's going to stand up here and tell y'all whatever y'all want to hear to get that done. I just don't see where things are going to change.
Okay.
I mean, if they haven't done
Well,
anything before.
I do want to say that the chief actually got up here and said there have been no tickets written.
Yes, sir.
So, I mean, I don't
He
think
said that
anybody's
it says-
hiding anything.
Yes,
The other
sir.
thing is, just like I mentioned earlier when we were talking about with the gentleman that in the past, we didn't get information. We're fixing it now.
This
So
is,
I can't, right now, look, let's go forward. We're at where we're at. Thank God nobody's been hurt. Thank God nobody's had any accidents that I know of.
I
So
heard that
we're
there's been
starting,
an
now we're
accident.
adopting this tonight and we'll start tomorrow, okay? I mean, so I don't want this to turn into a bashing of what we didn't do.
It-
Let's move forward.
it's not a bashing, it's just saying that it's
I-
easy to
I
say
mean,
what you're
that's
going to do.
maybe the
and
wrong word. I'm
you've
just
not
saying-
done it. Yes.
I'm just saying, now we know what we got, we're gonna enforce it.
I'm just wanting to state the facts, and also I think it's an ethics violation for him to be owning the golf cart place, and he's the one enforcing the tickets, so.
And if you think that, then you have every right to send a letter to ethics requesting for an opinion of that, and they will respond.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Yes, ma'am.
I actually like the golf cart idea. I think it's fun. I think it's something that the town would benefit from. Shocker. One thing that I would like to caution the board on, and Brent, you probably have already brought this up, I'm sure you have, is, like a lot of times when people rent the convention center, they'll call and they'll say, hey, I need proof of my homeowner's policy so I can show I have liability so I can rent the convention center. That does not cover that golf cart at all. And it does state in the state law that in order for them, even if we adopt this, again, which I'm for, they need to get the plates, they need to be registered with the state, just like a vehicle would be. And that is very important. That's something that the police officers need to know, and the community needs to know that that's another step that they have to take. And they actually then need to get a PPA policy, a personal automobile policy on that golf cart. They can't have just their liability from their homeowners. It's not going to cover it. And if that is all that whomever is enforcing is requiring when getting the permit to use this, they are not covered the way they think they are. So just some education on that, making sure that everybody understands what is required as far as the insurance side of things. It is not liability on the homeowners. Once you put it on the street, it's a motorized vehicle that has to have a motor vehicle policy, which is a separate and distinct policy.
Well, that was a question I was gonna ask on one of my questions was, how do they identify this cart? And how are they gonna identify the ticket process as to what that's assigned to? Ray, what about that?
It's a permit from the police department and also through the state.
Do you have it tagged on your cart or?
I don't know, the statute actually says,
Sticker?
Yeah.
Get the insurance card from your insurance.
Yeah.
The insurance people might have, there's a few added things to
Yeah.
that. The insurance, that have to be a mirror or horn, something,
So that identifies the cart?
just like a car.
Okay, all right, that's what I was wondering. I
but
didn't
it's
know if it
permitted
had
through,
a
to answer
tag.
your question,
or-
permitted through the city and through DMV.
That's what she was talking about.
Yes, yes, she's correct.
Decal to
Yeah.
put on there.
Yeah.
That shows that it is street legal.
Okay.
So then they would of course have to have that before.
Do they have to take it to Sharps and get it inspected or not?
Say again?
Do they have to take it to Sharps to get it inspected or not?
It's just an issue by the police department, is how the statute reads.
You don't get a metal tag.
I know, I'm just messing with you about going to get it inspected like we have to or something.
All right, let's
But you
move
also
on.
have
Oh.
a situation with farmers and something else, you've got another stipulation with farmers that are allowed their vehicles on the roadway, under Louisiana law within a certain mileage from their farmland. So they are not required to go through the same processes. They can use their ATVs, so that needs to be another distinction because we are also surrounded by farmland.
Correct.
Which is something else that, as the enforcement comes on, they need to be aware of.
Well, this ordinance wouldn't deal with ATVs at all. It just deals with the definitions of carts. If y'all adopt the definition I gave you in the state statute versus what's in the
Okay, anybody else
ordinance.
from public got a comment?
Well, that valid, I mean, if you're gonna, you're gonna fuss about little kids, if they're not supposed to be driving, you gotta watch out for those kids with those motorized scooters, so you have to watch out for.
Yeah.
I mean, that kind of stuff is what scares me, but.
Yeah, I agree. All right.
I can work with Virginia to make sure that she's got the right question, and checking the right thing. If someone's going to use carts,
Okay.
And to Ms. Weeks' point, that the statute as proposed deals with four-wheel vehicles, not cars.
Yeah.
So that would still be outlawed. Could just only
All right.
golf carts.
We're fixing to exit public hearing unless somebody really wants to say something. Okay. Do I hear a motion, we exit public hearing? Motion made by Alderman Gardner, here second. Alderman Probst, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We're out of that. Board discussion and vote to approve an ordinance providing for the allowance of carts to be permitted by the town of Vidalia and allowed to be driven on streets within the town of Vidalia corporate limits per LARS 32.99.46 RG. I don't have my glasses on. With the changes as directed by council. Do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Alderman Bester, second. Second by Alderman Smith. Any more discussion amongst council only? Any more discussion? All right, do a roll call vote on this. Ms. Wilson?
Motion offered by Alderman Betts to accept the ordinance with the changes made by council. Second by Alderman Smith. Alderman Betts.
Yes.
Alderman Gardner.
I'm gonna abstain from voting.
Alderman McCoy.
I vote yes.
Alderman Probst.
Yes.
Alderman Smith.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. All right, moving on to this is an introduction for our budget only, introduction of the ordinance adopting our operating budget of revenues and expenses for the town of Vidalia, Louisiana for the fiscal year 2026-27. This is the introduction, and there's no action to be taken. We are introducing it. And now we're going to move on to number 12. I do need. Yeah, I think, that's what I'm fixing to go to now. I need to add an agenda item. We've had a grant that's come up that our Sam Davis, our grant writer, is working with Cornell and with our gas department. And I think the application is going to be actually due by not this Friday, but the next. But he wants to get it submitted early to get it on the end. And it's basically, it's a resolution granting him the authority to make this application for this grant. That's a little over north of 500,000, correct, Cornell? And it's for improvements at our regulator stations for our natural gas sites. And also I think it's dealing with some testing material and all as well, isn't it? And it's a grant that's available. There's no match. And I need a resolution authorizing Mr. Davis to pursue this grant. And let him also have the authority to sign all documents in relation to that.
So we need to
Yeah, that's need a motion.
Motion.
Motion made by Alderman Smith, second by Alderman Betts. All in favor, say aye.
But I have to you said
Okay.
sign our documents with you reviewing them too as well. correct?
Oh, yeah, we'll be reviewing them as well. Without him expending any money, I'm, if he can do that and pull that off, yeah, I think it'd be,
That's kind of like.
yes, pardon?
That motion was to add the agenda item.
Yes, I'm sorry. That's,
Now I need a vote.
yeah, I need a vote. It's got to be unanimous to add the agenda item. Do I hear a motion to add the agenda item? Motion made by Alderman Probst, second by Alderman Gardner. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, we added the agenda item. I think we've already had a vote on the actual agenda item. The cart before the horse? Or do we need to redo it, council?
I think you're fine,
You
man.
think we're fine? Okay. Sorry about that. All right, I'm gonna do some quick updates, y'all, just real quick with special meeting we've talked about, which is gonna be the 26th at 5 o'clock. That'll be a Tuesday, the day after Memorial Day. One of the things I want to bring the council aware to, the next thing we're gonna be talking about is we're getting inundated with flags, streamers, banners, all kind of things being put out. And that's something else we need. There's ordinance there saying they're not permitted. And there's another thing that we've allowed, and they're kind of getting out of hand, and we need to go back and revisit with them. I think we've allowed them for 30 days for a new business or something like that. Or do we need to relook at that for a special tax season or somebody or whatever? They can do something for 30 days and sign up. Hey, I'm gonna put this sign out for 30 days. I'm offering this service. I'm offering this thing. Just something to revisit. I want to see if y'all are interested in visiting this and ask those questions.
Yeah.
Okay, just a question.
We don't want to do anything to hurt our businesses that are here.
And a lot of them's got.
Streamers, they coming up everywhere. I think Ms. Delray had that problem.
I like
Years back, then you had the streamers.
and
Did
they're
you address that?
and honestly,
The flag things on the side of the highway.
Oh, did I have a feather flag?
Yeah,
Yes, I had a feather flag that was totally removed.
that's right.
and
I do
of course
remember
they're
that.
getting more
Now
creative.
they're everywhere.
They're getting more creative, and we know what we're talking about.
But I just ordered one, so can we wait?
Okay. Well, you've got a minute. Okay. Memorial Day. I was going to speak to the parade. Alderman Garner, you want to say the date of the
Thank
parade?
you for allowing me. Monday, May 25th, lineup from 7:30 a.m. Parade will start approximately at 8:30. The corner of Magnolia and Alabama Street. Walk to the National Cemetery. We will rest in Natchez at the, I think it's the Tourist Information Center around 9:30. And Natchez will also be doing their revealing of their marker that hopefully and prayerfully we will soon get in Vidalia as well.
Okay. Now, the next thing I want to bring up about Memorial Day, I want the council to, in the past, we have set, I know in District 1 and 2, there's block parties, and and the police did an outstanding job last year of helping with barricades and keeping, everything. I think 2 years ago, we had some younger kids doing burnouts and stuff, and I think they quit all that, stopped that. So I want to thank them for having a really nice thing last year. But we need to make sure that we're in agreement to shut it down at 12 o'clock midnight.
Can we get? You don't want to? You don't want to? Won't you speak on the time and how it worked last year?
Who you referring to? Because they looking like they don't know who you're
Sam
talking
King, Sam King.
If I may, just back here, Chief, allow me, we were able to keep the festivities for the most part to 12 o'clock. So that's our plan this year again, with Chief's approval, that we think about 12 o'clock, street activities will be shut down. The folks can move inside to the club or go somewhere else.
And talk about, we're expanding the Oak Street. There's going to be a gathering on Oak Street where we.
That's my understanding from some of the citizens.
Yeah. And most of that's going to be in yards and not actually in the street.
All right.
Yeah.
Any questions on that from council? All right. Real quick, the transmission lines are set to be finished up. Everything be ready to go by not this Friday, but next. DA Big Lane, we've talked about it and when it's going to start. And then the after school program that's the resource center they're doing. The building looks fantastic. It really does.
Just about ready to go.
And I'm going through this quick. The trees, they're working on those. It's been wet out in the field. I don't know how wet it's been, so they haven't been able to get the trucks into the field to drop those. Blighted properties is an ongoing project. There's several that are in the works. I think the judge, our hearing judge doing the hearings, has given some continuances why you haven't seen buildings tore down yet. The farmer's market, the rendering and drainage is just about been finished up. Water plants now July, I think, finishing up that first phase of the complete first part of it. The water wells, we didn't get a good starting date, but they've got to be completed by December 31 of this year, raising water wells. That was the Department of Health made us do those. And Miracle League, Brent, I think somebody came down, that's for the special needs field. And I think we've got a bid in to do the renderings and drawings. And I I don't want to call it engineering, but the drawings and so forth. He's given a reach out, and we need to get together and see if that's going to be, okay with you guys.
Yeah.
Okay. Now.
You're missing one.
Hmm?
You're missing one. That the ongoing battle with trying to get our schools within the city district. And we have a new basketball.
Yeah, we did complete the basketball courts at the junior high in District 1.
Oh, cool.
And they're very nice. We still got more work to do down there. I actually did some riding around down there and talking with some of our school board and maybe helping them do some more improvements down there. I feel like Vidalia is doing great. I think we've seen a lot of activity. There's a lot of things coming, y'all. It's right now there are two bids I think have been made on the Denham building. It's supposed to go to auction, I think September, isn't that right? But there's a pre-auction bid they can make that if they have a certain amount that I think it will be hammered out to where it be accepted. And I think one of those bids have been made, and I think it's within the guidelines of that. So a lot of positive things. Cyrus in the process of doing their due diligence for phase 3, and that's looking real good. So we got a lot of things moving around. Now, Pope Park, we'll get out of here. It's been 2 hours. Pope Park, grand opening the 20th. Guys, this is going to be special. 2 o'clock. I want everybody to be there that can.
3 p.m.
2 o'clock. 2 o'clock. 3 o'clock is not right, and
It's Eastern time.
wrong one. That's all right. It's at 2 o'clock. You can come at 3 if you want to, but it's going to be far full of kids by then. But anyway, this has been, it should have been finished months ago, but it's here now, and it's going to be a special thing, and I'm encouraging everybody to turn out for it. It's going to be a great day. Pardon?
I got 2 things, if you don't mind. One is about the Memorial Day as well. I
Okay.
forgot to include
All right.
that. So, Mayor, if possible, I know you asked about Memorial Day. If we could upload the flyer advertising to the community so everybody can know the time frame. We have a flyer. I'll get it to you if you can put it on the Town of Vidalia page so
Okay.
the public itself can know the details of that parade. And the second thing I have to say, tonight Vidalia High had the award ceremony, and unfortunately, because it conflicted with this meeting tonight, I had 2 ladies who received the Alderman Robert Gardner Scholarship, and that was Avery Reeves and Zakila Pearl King. And I want to thank those ladies. And unfortunately, I want to apologize because I had to be here, couldn't be in 2 places at one time.
Okay. Now I hear a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Motion made by Alderman McCoy, second by Alderman Smith. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We stand adjourned.
Oh.